Let us do Prarthana and start the session. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Mannado Sri Jagannatha Madguru Sri Jagadguru Mamatma Sarva Bhutatma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tat Padam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. The only Guru of three religions, Traitatiram originator, sensational writer, the author of more than 100 divine holy scriptures, the emperor of spiritual kingdom, Sri 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 Acharya Prabodhananda Yogeshwarulu. We are learning Traitatiram Bhagavad Gita. We are learning Gnana Yogam chapter. We learned 5th Slokam last week. According to the 5th Slokam, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani nattam veti parantapaha. According to this verse or Slokam, Lord Krishna said that you got many births, me too. I remember all, but you do not. So that's what he said. And also we got one question that how many times he might have got birth. So Swami explained in very detail, and according to Swami's explanation we came to know that he got 6 births on the earth on India itself. On India itself he got 6 births. In the first birth he told about the identification, existence of the God. In the second birth, the dharmas of temple traditions. In the third birth, guru and disciple dharmas. And in the fourth one, the big education and the dharmas. And in the fifth, Bhagavad Gita dharmas, all the dharmas he told in the Bhagavad Gita. And in the sixth birth it would be like existence of all the dharmas and their detailed explanation. And also we came to know that in every birth whenever he established dharmas, the Maya, the Satan was what it was doing, it was spoiling and bringing unrighteousness things into the human beings to follow that. So in each and every birth it is doing like that. In the sixth birth, so how he would be doing, we came to know that he must be revealing complete details about the Maya, that is the emotions completely, so that every human being, whoever knows about dharmas, he will clearly understand which is Maya, which is God related thing. So that way this dharma, establishment of these dharmas can go for thousands and thousands of years in going forward. So that's what we came to know that. So and also we came to know that Bhagavan's body is completely special compared to the ordinary human being body. Though Bhagavan looks like ordinary man, and though Bhagavan's body contains 3 souls, same like ordinary human being, and there is a speciality in Bhagavan's body. In the Bhagavan's body, the absolute soul will behave sometimes like himself, sometimes like soul, sometimes like mortal soul. And also even though there is a mind inside the Bhagavan's body and ours body, the mind is getting destroyed after death. It happens for both the ordinary human being and also the Bhagavan. But the immortal soul inside the Bhagavan is spread like mind, whole body. So that is the one which memorizes everything what happened for Bhagavan's body. That is why whenever he is taking one birth, after a long gap, thousands of years, another birth, then he is able to memorize everything whatever he did in the previous birth and what he has to do in the current birth. In case of the ordinary human beings, what is happening? So whenever we take birth, immediately we get death after some time. Then immediately we take birth. So there is no much gap between birth to birth, even though we could not able to memorize anything in our past birth. That is the main difference between Bhagavan's body and the ordinary human being's body. So how Bhagavan is taking birth, that we need to know. So he talks about that in the 6th Shlokamu. What he is saying, let us see. Ajopi sanna vyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. What he is saying here? I don't have birth. I am not destroyable. So I am imperishable. I am the Lord of all the creatures. Even though the nature which is created by me, I am taking birth with Maya. That's what he is telling over here. So here, in the Gnana Yogam chapter, first Slokam itself, he spoke that in the beginning he delivered wisdom to sun. From the sun it went to Manu. From the Manu it went to Ikshvaka. Like that, one after another, they learnt the wisdom. In the second slokam, what he said, after a period of time, take from Kruta Yugam until Dwapara Yugam, there is some gap of like millions of years per se. There is a big gap, more than 1,000,000 years. So by that time, at the end of the Dwapara Yugam, what happened? The dharmas are gone. The yoga vidya, the science of yogam is gone. He said that. In the third slokam, the yoga vidya, big education, which is the secret education, you are my friend, you are my beloved one, so I am teaching to you, he said. In the fourth slokam, Arjuna asked a question. In the beginning, sun got the birth. You born just with me. You born along with me. You are in this era. Sun's birth was happened in the beginning itself. The one who is existing now, how could you taught to the sun that time when the creation happened itself? That's what the question he got. In the fifth slokam, what God said, Bhagavan said, you got many births, I got many births. I remember everything, but you don't, he said that. So when we have these statements, these summary of the information from all these 5 slokams, when you see from first to third slokam what he said, he taught to sun, now again teaching to you. That means there is no gap, there are no many births. It seems like only 2 births. But in the fifth slokam he said, I got many births, you also got many births. So if we analyze the slokams of the above which he taught, he did not say that he told to other person after sun. He told to any other person after sun. So this situation is like to and fro, like either we can fall in front or we can fall backside. So anything, it's like a critical state. It's a complex situation, critical situation. So that's what the many people, some rationalists may ask the questions. So which one is correct? So, for what purpose Bhagavan takes birth? The purpose of taking birth is to reveal his wisdom, or to re-establish all his dharmas, righteousness. So he said that so there is a confusion. There is a confusion. Which one is the correct? Contradictory statements. We can say there are contradictory statements. So to say he did not get many births, there is a proof from first to third slokam. If we say he did not get many births, there is a proof that he got many births is the fifth slokam. That is what the dilemma. There is a dilemma. So we need to know the answer for that. If there is a spiritual person is there, if there is a rationalist is there, if rationalist pose a question to spiritualist, then spiritualist may not answer this one, he may escape from that, but we don't want to escape. Swami is there. Swami explained in such a way that we got the clear answer for that. So in this verse, in this slokam, if we see, there are two parts in it. In the first part he said he has no birth at all, and in the second part he said he is taking birth. So here is also a dilemma in this slokam. So is he going to born, or he doesn't take any birth at all? But slokam says one part he doesn't take birth at all. The second part he says he is going to take birth. So there will be a mental situation. So people may think that either the person who is teaching should be a mentally crack, or the person who is listening is also a mentally crack. Something same. But if we see who taught this wisdom taught by God himself. So when God said this, there should not be any mistake in it. But where should be the wrong? There should be the misunderstanding. There should be the misunderstanding by the person who is listening to that. So we need to clearly analyze it and understand it. Then only we can know. So Swami explained in such a way we can understand properly. The God said that in the beginning itself he taught wisdom to Son, that is truth. And from there, when Son taught wisdom to the Manu, from there onwards until the end of the Dwapara Yugam, so he said to Son, after that he said to Arjuna is also truth. And also the truth is that in between these two births there are so many people who exchanged the wisdom from one person to another person. And also in the fifth slokam he said that he got many births, and we came to know that there are 5 births. In total of 6 births would be there for Bhagavan itself. Swami is saying that don't think that so I am deviating you, but it is truth. God himself said that. So all this discussion arguments are because of the slokas what he taught to us until the 5th slokam, right? So that we need to clear it out completely and understand in a proper way. When we think about Lord Krishna is not an ordinary human being at all. In whole Bhagavad Gita, so many places we see Bhagavan Vacha, that means Bhagavan said that, like that. Bhagavan says. So wherever Lord Krishna is there, the term we replace it with Bhagavan. That means Bhagavan is Lord Krishna himself. And also we came to know that there will be a speciality in the body of Bhagavan compared to the ordinary human being. So like we have three souls in our body, Bhagavan also will have same three souls. In the ordinary human being's body, the absolute soul will be witnessing everything. It will not be doing any task. But in the Bhagavan's body, the absolute soul will be doing task based on the a need, based on the need. So that's what the difference between Bhagavan's body and our body. So we came to know that the difference between our body and Bhagavan's body. That is why in the beginning the absolute soul which taught wisdom to son, the same absolute soul again he spoke to Arjuna in at the end of the Dwapara Yugam itself. So that is why he told in the Shlokam itself. So we cannot condemn this statement. So that is why whenever there are dharmas are more, adharmas are less, when there is a defection to dharmas, then Bhagavan is taking birth and re-establishing them. So that is why he is taking the birth. So whenever you know all the matter what is happening inside the body, which is called spirituality, so whenever we know the matters of all the three souls, we can come to know which soul is doing what kind of task. Then only we can understand all the statements whatever Lord Krishna said in the slokams. Otherwise we cannot understand it. So according to this slokam, we came to know that there are two parts in this slokam. In these two parts of the slokam, in the first part, the Paramatma, the absolute soul, which is talking inside, which is talking from inside, which is talking from internally, and the mortal soul, which the external view, which the external focus, it is also talking. There are two people talking over here. One is absolute soul, it related to internal matter, and another one is mortal soul, which is relating to the external matter. So in the slokam, first statement was given by absolute soul. That is why the absolute soul said that I don't have birth, I am imperishable, he said. In the second part, the mortal soul, which is the external world related focus, and also he contains emotions, he said that I am taking birth with emotions, that is with Maya. So this looks like there is a one movie in Telugu called Aparichitudu. Aparichitudu means stranger, we can say. The Aparichitudu, the person, in the movie he says, I killed. Immediately he says, no, I did not kill. Two statements he gives. Both statements are correct. When he said he killed, he did not kill as a mortal soul. When he said he did not kill, really he did not kill, since he is a mortal soul. So that's what the answer we got it. So because Swami explained in such a way. So, according to this slokam, whatever Lord Krishna told that he did not have birth, that is true. And also, he said he is taking birth, that is also true. So, you got it right now. Now, again, we got one question. When he is going to take the birth? When Bhagavan is going to take the birth? So, that we need to know. The seventh slokam explains about when Bhagavan takes birth. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata abhyuttanamadharmasya tada atmanam srujamyaham. This slokam constitutes two parts. One talks about formless, another talks about with form. So here also Paramatma, the absolute soul and mortal soul, both are talking over here. Bhagavan as a Sakara, that means with form. So he said that he is taking birth with emotions. Second part relates to Bhagavan, the first part relates to um, Nirakara, formless, absolute soul. What he is saying, whenever there is a defection to his dharmas, whenever there is a more and more too much activity of unrighteousness or overfilled with unrighteousness everywhere, so then he is saying that I am manifesting myself and taking birth on the earth. He is taking, so Bhagavan is manifesting himself and taking birth on the earth. So in this slokam we got the answer when he is taking birth, when there is a defection or loss to dharmas, he is taking birth. Clearly he is telling over here. So if there is a department, in the department there are so many workers, they are doing their own work, but there is always a supervisor who is supervising all the workers. Sometimes if the worker is not doing properly, if he is not working well, then so the supervisor will come and warn him. He tells him to do the things in a right way. As the absolute soul, he is the supermost supreme, and he is the high command of everyone. He is the lord of all the creatures. So whenever he is the one who is supervising all the dharmas, whether they are going in a proper direction or not. Whenever there is a defection to dharmas and people are not practicing dharmas, and everybody is engaged with the practicing of all adharmas everywhere, then he thinks that this is the right time, Bhagavan's birth. Then Bhagavan takes the birth and he will set right the dharmas. That's what it happens. And also Paramatma, the absolute soul, what he did, so he put so many indications as dharmas to follow by the human beings. But the human beings, even though they are following, but they don't know the inner meaning of that. That's why the dharmas became adharmas, righteousness became unrighteousness. For example, if we can consider that, so if there is some bad happens to anybody, he says my karma. If, so karma means the mixture of good or bad, anything. Like punyam and papam, both considered as dharma, considered as karma. Both are called karma. But the human being, what he is doing, whenever some bad happens to him, he says my karma. Whenever good happens, benefit happens, he doesn't say that. And the elderly people, they used to think that in the olden days who were practicing righteousness, so if they came across good benefit or bad benefit, they used to think that, oh, this is part of my karma, so I need to destroy my karma. To destroy my karma, I need to follow righteousness. That way they used to think and follow it. They knew completely inner meaning of that. But nowadays So even though we are saying that for namesake we are saying, but we are not following. That means the dharmam which was established by God, and He told clearly the meaning about that to the people, but people uh, are doing the things, but there is no meaning. So with the practice of meaningless practices are useless. So you can't destroy the karma with meaningless practices. And not only that, there are so many things are there which were said by the absolute soul to practice by the human beings. So in the beginning all were following the righteousness. After over a period of time everybody became into the person who is practicing unrighteousness things. And the dharmas are not in the sky or heaven anywhere, they are on the earth itself. They are among us. Then we need to follow them, but we are not doing that. And we lost the notion of the dharmas. The dharmas, like the words which refer the dharmas, Govinda, Bhagavan, the wedding, Pelli we say in Telugu. Pelli means Paramatma, and also the Pelli Koduku, that means the Pelli Koduku, Pelli Kuturu, that means bride and bridegroom, Chandamama, that means moon, Abba, Govinda. All those are the words. When we remember those words, when we come across those words, people used to think that there is a dharma and we should practice, but nowadays they became adharmas, unrighteousness things. There are so many traditions in the marriage. uh, Now people also doing that, but they lost the inner meaning of that. So that means all the dharmas became adharmas. So the people who are practicing all these things, who are practicing, but they don't know the inner meaning of that. So that became adharmas, right? Such kind of people uh, are called thieves. We can say they are thieves. And these thieves, what they are doing, they are thinking that they misunderstood all these things. uh, and what they are doing, even though they are following that, they don't know the inner meaning of that. So that is why God is saying over here that there is a defection to dharmas, because they are not thinking about the notion from the practices. So those people who are practicing adharmas, the example of adharmas, such kind of adharmas are like yagnas, practicing penances, doing charities, studying Vedas. Uh, those are the adharmas. Yagna, dana, Veda, tapa. Yagna, dana, Veda, tapa. All those are four things which are adharmas. They are not related to dharmas at all. God never said that they are dharmas, they will reach you to the God. So they are not at all dharmas. But the people who are thinking that these are dharmas and they are practicing, those thieves are called, they are also called the practicers of adharmas, who are practicing adharmas. And the second type people are there. Second type people, they don't accept the existence of the God, and also they say there are no dharmas related to the God. They think about the nature, they think about the substance, matter contains the dharmas, but not the God, who is invisible. So that's what they always argue with the people. Those kind of category people are rationalists and atheists. Those are the second type. So these two kinds of people, one who is practicing adharmas thinking that they are dharmas, and the second one who does not accept the God and his existence. So these two kinds of people are there, right? These two kinds of people, majority is more and their population is more, then there is a defection to dharmas. In such situations, God said he would re-establish them. So he said that abhyudhanam adharmasya, abhyudhanam adharmasya, abhyudhanam dharmasya. So in order to bring up the dharmas up, which are gone down, so that's what he is going to take birth. So all the dharmas are not going to vanish totally. It's not possible. There would be somebody somewhere else would be practicing real dharmas, but the dharmas are not in full fledged. So they got defection and they are not moving forward. Like whenever there is a disease for us, there is a our body cannot move forward, it will not have energy at all, then we will go to a doctor, and doctor what he will do, so he will do some treatment for us, give some treatment, with the treatment again we get the energy back and we'll do work as usual. So in the same way, the Bhagwan is like a doctor to the dharmas. Whenever dharmas are defected, so they cannot move forward with full energy. So what he will do, he will do some treatment to that. So after giving a good treatment, the dharmas will gain power and energy much more, and then and it will start moving forward with the full energy. That's what it will spread into the all the humanity. So that's what God said. So do you have any questions over here? If you have any questions, you can ask. So if not, let us do Mangala Prarthana and end the session. Om Mangalam Gurudevaya Mahaniya Prabodhatmane Sarvaloka Sharanyaya Sadhurupaya Mangalam. Prabodharpanam to everyone.